अच्छा, खोलो खोलो खोलो। ठीक है। और भी एक कॉपी है तो ले लो, आप अपने लिखो, आपको भी चाहिए। 7 7 खोलिए।
स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ?
नहीं। ओके, थैंक यू। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। कुछ बोल ही नहीं रहे। Not speaking. Actually, I can hear if you speak, even it is muted, because you can. I can see your lips are moving. Yes, I am able to hear someone's voice. Where is our coordinator? Where is the course coordinator? Okay, I can give my own introduction. So, my name is Venugopal Das. So, I am teaching Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, and Bhakti Vedanta. These are the courses in ISKCON Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya. I stay in Govardhan.
पार्टिसिपेंट खुद को अनम्यूट नहीं कर पा रहे।
नहीं कर पाएंगे।
हाँ,
वहीं रोक दिया।
ओह, ओके।
So yeah. So I did PhD in Shat Sandarbhas from Banaras Hindu University, and Before that, I did Acharya from Acharya in Sanskrit in Purana Itihasa. I worked for HP R&D for 3 years after doing my MTech, and I joined in. Came contact in ISKCON 2007 actually in 2007. So simple. It's a brief introduction. Okay. Jai Damodar Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Oh, you have problem? You can unmute.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Prabhu, I was trying to unmute. I was not allowed.
Yeah.
So sorry, Prabhu. I was late. I called you some 5-10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But somehow couldn't reach you. I'm supposed to introduce you.
No
So-
problem, bro. I introduced myself.
No. Please let me do it. It's my duty. Please let me do it. So you will not, from your own mouth, you will not tell your true glory. So let me do that.
Not true glory. I'm not such a pure devotee.
Okay, so Venugopal Prabhu first came in the touch with ISKCON, with the devotees of ISKCON in 2007. He has done his graduation in electronics and communication. He has also done his MTech in computer science, computer engineering. He joined ISKCON full-time in 2011. He has done a PhD in Sandarbhas, which is a very difficult subject matter. I hope most of you have heard the names of Sandarbhas. It's Jiva Goswami's magnum opus, and it's definitely very difficult subject matter. But Prabhuji has done PhD in that, so you can understand the level of his intellect. He's very learned. He has got very strong sadhana. He learned Sanskrit also in the school of Gopi Padadhana Prabhu. So even in his material life, he has done job also in very good companies. So he has experience of both material and spiritual career. He's definitely very intellectual, and he has very good teaching techniques. At present, he's serving as the director of academics of ISKCON Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya. Right from the beginning of ISKCON Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya, he has always been the source of inspiration, and he's very, very dynamic. He practically oversees all the departments of ISKCON Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya. He is the main inspirational figure after Vedversity also. Through Vedversity, we conduct many short courses. So he's very, very active in all the departments of ISKCON Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya. And he is also National Director of Deva Varnasam Ministry. So these are only a few glories of Venugopal Prabhu. I can go on and on, tell you many things. But since he has to begin teaching, you will understand yourself his glories, how the way he teaches, and the depth of understanding that he has in whatever subject he teaches, right? So he's going to teach you chapters 7, 8, 9 of Bhagavad Gita. So Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Prabhu. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So how many students are there in this class strength?
42 students are there, Prabhu.
42, okay. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Jai Damodar Prabhu. So we have some extra friends actually, so I called So my students from other courses, so like our Rukmini Mohan Prabhu and also Ram Charan Prabhu, and like that I have some students in your class. They are guest students. Okay, nice. I am not really a good teacher, but I will try to. So I heard that you are all very good students. So, so, so good students will not give much. For teaching good students will be very easy, I hope. So yes. Yeah, Jayadavan Prabhu is raising hand. Okay. So what you learned in the first 6 chapters? So he is going to summarize in one line.
Prabhu, our identity and the process of yoga.
Our identity and process of yoga.
I mean, and the process of self-realization. So different stages of self-realization, from karma yoga to jnana yoga to dhyana yoga, like that.
Yeah. Anyone wants to add something?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, shall I say?
Yeah, definitely, Mataji.
Yeah. What I learned is, actually first 6 chapters deal with so many subject matters, but what I feel like is karma yoga, like work in devotion, is far better than karma sannyas, that is renouncing the work. So this is what I learned, that and ultimately the Lord is saying that we can do Ashtanga yoga, that is Dhyan yoga, but because of the practical difficulties in doing that Ashtanga yoga, that is yoga practice, so now the Lord is telling about how we can practically do the yoga, that is Krishna consciousness.
That's thank you, Mataji. So first 6 chapters are telling about the self-realization. Yeah. What is self-realization? Mohan.
Prabhuji, can I tell the summary of first 6 chapters?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I read in the purport of 7.1 that in the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, the living entity has been described as non-material spirit soul capable of elevating himself to self-realization by different types of yoga. Steady concentration of the mind upon Krishna, or in other words, Krishna consciousness, is the highest form of all yoga. And concentrating one's mind upon Krishna, one is able to know the absolute truth completely, but not
Nice.
otherwise.
Yes, nice.
So this is the summary.
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice. So that means you are all trained to study before coming to the class. Nice, actually. Okay. So that means, okay, I will find what is the procedure you are all following. I will try to follow, but I don't know. So, okay. Yeah, first 6 chapters were dealing, if you if you see from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, most of the times I will be referring Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary like Sarartha Varshini, and also sometimes I will be covering from Baldev Jabushan's commentary, and after that we will be also once again in the light of these two commentaries we will be trying to understand the Srila Prabhupada's purports. Okay, this is the system I follow, so that we can get the most of the times Prabhupada is writing everything almost all he never speculate, and he's writing from the previous acharyas. So keeping that into side by side with us, and we'll be seeing the Prabhupada purports, and he's explaining those the difficult and deep points very easy way, and also he is adding some kind of preaching application into that. So that I will try to understand how the Prabhupada is explaining those, and also the main tattva actually. So we'll be also extracting from the previous acharyas commentaries. So tattva means the philosophy, what is there, underlying philosophy. And also I will be using the Sanskrit text. So 1 second. So I'll be using Sanskrit text also in the class. So if you are able to follow, it's okay. It's are also not able to follow, it's not a problem. So I will explain everything in English. So we have how many slokas? We have 4 days for each chapter. Like that, we have 3 chapters. 4th is so 12 days total. And in the first chapter, we have almost all 30 slokas, I think. 30. So on every day for 7 slokas we try to cover, because they have equal weight actually, almost all. Every sloka needs first sloka, it takes me bit more time, and you'll be extracting the philosophical points from the first chapter, actually, first sloka. Sorry, from the first sloka. So you'll be understanding so many philosophical points here, and also you'll try to see the line by line Srila Prabhupada purport also. Okay, now the time is 7:24. So our class will go on till 9:10, 9:05 to 9:10. So in between, I will be taking the question and answers. Question answer session also will be there. Maybe after 30 minutes. After that, I will be taking some questions. When I ask, you can raise the hand and you can ask the questions. Like that in the class, maybe 2 times or 3 times, I will give the time to 5 minutes of time to ask the questions. And finally, after the class 9:10, you can ask the many questions also, and I have no problem. So, but students can leave by the 9:15 to 9:20. Whenever I say now it's the time you can leave, so they don't need to stay for the whole class. That means after the class is over, if I said, so then they don't need. That means 9:10 I will finish, and after that, so 10 minutes questions will be there. Then after that, I will say anyone want to leave, they can. So then they can leave also. And if anyone is having questions, they can continue. That's up to you. So like that, we'll be going on, like our plan is like this. Okay, now first sloka. So I'll be reciting this sloka, and yeah, you can parallelly you can recite by yourself without unmuting. If you unmute it, then sound will be in the zigzag actually. So okay. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Yunjanmadashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Gnasyasi Tatsrunu. So the translation, students can read the translation. They can raise the hand whoever is ready to read the translation. Yeah, Dasharadi, Prabhu. You can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation of text 1, chapter 7. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with the mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt."
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Now here, O son of Partha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with the mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. So first of all, I will be explaining for this sloka Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, and then after that we will be reading the purport. So many points are discussed there, so that's why I am. After that, we'll be reading the Prabhupada purport line by line. Okay. So
Purport can
here,
you read?
hello,
Purport can you read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
The purport you have to read, Prabhuji.
No Prabhu, no purport. So in this Prathama Adhyaya, the first 6 chapters actually, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is Saptame Bhajaniyasya Sri Krishnasya Aishwaryam Uchyate Na Bhajante Bhajante Yete Chapi Yuktascha Chaturvidaha. So he is giving the summary of this chapter in one line. In this 7th chapter, so you can note down the points also. So whatever points you feel it's important. So what he is saying in this 7th chapter, so Bhajani Yasya Sri Krishnasya Sri Krishna Aishwaryam Uchyate. That means in this 7th chapter, we are going to see the opulence of we are going to study about the opulence of Sri Krishna, who is worshipable. Okay. And also, so 4 types of worshippers and non-worshippers of the Krishna also will be seeing in this 7th chapter. This is the one-line summary of this 7th chapter. Okay. Next, प्रथमेनाध्याय षट्केन अंतःकरण शुद्ध्यर्धक निष्ठ काम कर्म सापेक्षो काम कर्म सो शुद्ध्यर्धक निष्ठ काम कर्म सापेक्षौ मोक्ष फल साधकौ ज्ञान योगौ उक्तौ. In first 6 chapters, what we studied, if you where is this verse? Who is asking? Okay. This verse is
Prabhuji, the one
from,
that you are reciting, that one I'm asking.
this is the verse. Saptame Bhajaniyasa Sri Krishna Aishwaryam Uchyate. In the 7th chapter, Bhajaniya means worshipable Krishnas. Aishwarya is said actually. Aishwarya is said in the Sapta means in the 7th chapter. Na bhajante bhajante yete cha api uktas chaturvida. 4 types of chaturvida means 4 types of people who worship and who don't worship. They also said in this chapter. Okay, Mataji. This is the sloka. And now we are going to see the next lines of this.
Prabhuji, this you are reading from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentaries.
Yes.
What is the name of this commentary, Prabhuji?
Sarartha Varshini.
Sarartha
Varshini.
Varshini.
Yes.
It available in the book store, Prabhuji?
Huh?
Where is it available, Prabhuji? Suppose someone like to get a copy of this.
Okay, I will send to in the group actually. No, 1 second.
Oh, thank you.
That is in actually in a Gaudi Grantha Mandir also you can get.
Gaudi Grantha Mandir.
Yeah. You can get from the Gaudi Grantha Mandir. Or otherwise,
you can share to the group, it will be helpful, Prabhuji, if you can.
Yes. 1 second, I will share now itself. Okay, you can check in the group.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, I received. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that in the first 6 chapters, so we have seen Antakarana Sudyartaka Nishta Kamya Karma Nishta Sudyartaka Nishta Kamya Karma Sapekshav Moksha Phala Sadhako Gnana Yoga Uktau. He is saying that in the first 6 chapter, what is explained? Gnana and Yoga. Gnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. So these 2 techniques were explained actually. And what are these 2 techniques? These 2 techniques are going to give the result of what? Moksha. They are going to give the moksha. Moksha sadhakau. Moksha phala sadhakau. They are going to give the result of liberation. And both these 2 processes dependent on what? On the karma, where the karma is used for the antakarana shuddhi. Yes? How karma is doing the antakarana shuddhi? Who will tell?
By knowledge, true.
They have to raise the hand actually before
sorry.
speaking. So anyone wants to answer, first raise the hand, then I will select the student. So who? Yes, Sundar Nitai Prabhu.
So Prabhu, by doing our prescribed duties, then we get knowledge, and by knowledge, basically, we can know who is Krishna and then connect with him.
By doing the prescribed duties, one will get the knowledge of what?
We get knowledge of who is Krishna and how to connect with him, and basically, what is body, what is soul, matter, spirit, Krishna, and our relationship with him.
Okay. Next, Dasarathi Prabhu.
Prabhuji, by executing karma with Krishna consciousness, we can purify our mind and intelligence. And when the mind and intelligence are purified, mind will be subdued by the intelligence. In that case, the gradually.
I'm not saying that here. Actually, in this beginning 6 chapters, so karma, simply karma is how it is going to purify. So executing karma in Krishna consciousness, that is different. That is the Aropa Siddha Bhakti. So I'm not asking about the Aropa Siddha Bhakti. I'm asking how karma is going to purify the heart. What is the point of, where is the point of the Krishna here? So that is another thing actually. Yes, Punya Shloka Prabhu.
Prabhu, it makes us selfless from selfish.
Which one?
By performing karma, because karma involves performing prescribed duties. So
Yes.
when the prescribed duty is performed, it is above the animalistic way of life, even at the karma kanda level. The performance is basically doing some sort of sacrifice. So you're not just doing whatever you want, whenever you want in your way. Basically, you're performing the sacrifice, which is leading you for purification, which means you, at this stage, you're not Krishna conscious, but you're becoming, slowly started to become selfless from selfish, completely selfishness to selflessness. You started the process.
Okay, Babu, thank you. A bit more. So yeah, Annapurna Mata.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Normally, everybody will be doing their own karma, and these are the some people will be doing in the fruit to effects. But in the 5th chapter, Krishna explains here we have to do the karma as nishtama karma. So when we can do that nishtama karma, when you are going to achieve the knowledge of Krishna. So by knowing who Krishna is and by knowing
What is Nishkama Karma? Can you tell me, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu?
Nishkama Karma.
Nishkama karma is we'll be doing our prescribed duties, but we don't be taking about the results of the duties. We are leaving everything towards Krishna. So that is called the Nishkama karma. From Sattva Guna we are raising it, Prabhu. From the mode of passion, we'll be raising to the mode of goodness, Prabhu. In the mode of goodness, we'll be thinking about the God, and we'll be coming back to Nishkama Karma. And
No,
in
no.
the process of knowledge, Prabhu.
There is no God at all actually in this. When you raise from the Rajoguna to Sattoguna, where is the point of God?
Because when we are doing the prescribed duty, it is whatever may be, if it is religious or non-religious also, we'll be doing as per the prescribed, no, Prabhu. Then
Yeah, by doing prescribed duties, that means without expecting the result and also without having the kartrutva buddhi. So then what will happen by this?
we'll be starting to get the purification in the heart, Prabhuji. And when we are blessed by the mercy of the pure devotee, then we can achieve what the goal is.
No, no, no. It's not in the first 6 chapters we are seeing majorly the moksha actually. It's not the bhakti actually. So where that means, you know, if you bring the point of the pure devotees mercy, then that is the turning to the sadhu sangha, and that is leading to the bhakti. So that is not the main discussion in these 6 chapters.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. With one more understanding, I am coming.
Prabhu, actually, I will just correct
Prabhu,
Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna,
Please,
Prabhuji,
please.
it is Nishkama Karma Yoga.
Uh,
Nishkama Karma Yoga, it is not Nishkama Bhakti. I'm sorry, I'm confused.
yeah, very good. Now, Nishkama Karma Yoga, what it does?
It will purify us, no, Prabhuji, normally.
Normally?
Means when
Okay.
we are doing, no, I'm saying it. Because when we are going to start with the Nishkama Karma Yoga, because without having any result oriented,
Yes.
we'll be having little bit progress towards Sattva-Guda.
Yes.
That's the point, Prabhuji.
Yes, good point. Yeah. So you came to the almost all point. So here in the first 6 chapters, we'll be seeing the Gnana Yoga, which is dependent on the Nishkama Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga, if you do, so Sakama Karma Yoga, you will be addicted to the results of the karma and you'll be so enjoying those results. But after that, so one will be understanding that this is a very painful process. So for getting the little material pleasure, so one has to perform such a elaborated and heavy hard work. That means karma involves the all the time so pain actually. So that's why to get the little pleasure, this pain is really not a proper proportion, is not a proper deal actually. So that's why one will be understanding the nature of the karma and shifting to the understanding. That means so trying to understand by the prescribed duties one he follows. So he'll be understanding the nature of the karma, how it is painful. So forgetting the little pleasure, so material pleasure, which is not permanent actually. So that's why one will be shifting towards the sattva guna. That means he will be started doing the karma without expecting any result. So which is flickering, which is very temporary. So by doing this, what will happen? By doing the Nishkama Karma Yoga, so one's heart will be purified. So purification of heart will happen in what level? So there is a rajas and tamas. This both will be going down and sattva guna increases. Okay, that's the point what you said, Mataji. Till here it is correct. So after increasing, that means once one become the perfect in the Nishkama Karma Yoga, what will happen? So the heart will be purified. So in what way it is purified means sattva guna increases. Sattva sanjayate gnanam. Sattvam yad brahma darshanam. That means by the sattva guna, what will happen? One will be understanding the self, swa atma visheka gnanam. So what is going to happen by purification of the heart? Swatma Vishekman Gnana means I am soul. This knowledge they will be getting. Okay. So this is the outcome of the Nishkama Karma Yoga. Okay, this is even if you say Naishkarmi Pechata Bhavachitam Nasobate Gnanam Alam Niranjanam. So in there also the Tika actually in the 7th in the Bhagavatam first canto 5th chapter. So in the Narada Muni teachings, if you see Acharya's commentary, there also it is explained that so Nishkama Karma Yoga gives the Antakarana Shuddhi. That means, but the purification happens by the bhakti is different from this Nishkama Karma Yoga, how it purifies the heart. There is a great difference is there. So here we are not purifying our heart by the bhakti, but here the purification means just rajas and tamas is being suppressed, and one will be fixed in the sattva guna. That's all. That is only the purification we are saying here. So by that atma vishaya gnanam, atma, that means one will be understanding the self. But this is not the sufficient actually to get the liberation. To get the liberation, what is needed actually?
Dhyana,
What is that jnana?
knowledge of the absolute.
So what are the portions of the jnana? How we can define the jnana? Who will be telling? Knowledge of the absolute truth is a very vague definition. So okay, Krishna Shray Prabhu.
Knowledge, Prabhupada defines knowledge as knowing the information about spirit, matter, and the creator of both. That means
No, actually,
knowing
jnana
from the
is,
source.
in the first 6 chapters, jnana means what? Punya Shloka Prabhu.
So, Jnana means, first of all, Lord talks about the in which the analytical study about the matter and spirit is there, and then he takes up a level of knowledge where we understand once we know our identity, and there are different process. Basically, jnana means when one starts to contemplate on what has studied from the scripture, and one gets renunciation, one starts to practice samadhi and reaches up to the dhyana, meditation.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Or are we talking about 3 levels, Prabhu? Is it basically the impersonal? Because in chapter 6, it talks about the personal liberation.
Yeah.
Or super.
So jnana means actually, especially when you say in the words of the liberation and also self-realization. So when you are discussing in this, when you have this kind of context, in that context, jnana means what? So tvam padartha vishayaka jnana, tvam padartha vishayaka jnanam, tat padartha vishayaka jnanam, aikya jnanam. Jnana means what? I request the students to mute they said, because we are getting a noise.
Shamkarna Prabhu's, this is on. Shamkarna Prabhu's mic is on. You can mute him, Prabhu.
It's actually Krishna Ashray Prabhu. Krishna Ashray Prabhu.
Okay, okay. I did. I request to, otherwise, that's why I keep all the students mic muted actually. I only unmute. So I request all of you. So if you are going to maintain yourself, so that means this, whenever you need at that time only keep unmute, and otherwise keep it mute. If you are going to do that, so then I will give the permission. Otherwise, I will only that means controlling everything. What do you do? So I will see another one once again next time. So you'll be doing yourself responsibility of muting, then that will be fine actually. So otherwise I will keep every control with me only. Then I will give after 40 minutes only, you can ask the doubts. Okay, because sometimes big classes we used to do that, but here the less number of students we have. Let us see, we'll be having a good cooperation. Okay, first of all, try to understand that jnana means what? Tvam padartha vishayakam jnanam. That means tvam padartha, tvam tattvamasi. You should know the sentence. Jnanis, they are always meditating on the sentence tattvamasi, tat tvam asi. Write it on your book. Try to understand the concept clearly actually. So in the concept, in the point of the jnanis, first of all, what is happening? If anyone wants to go and merge into the Brahman, what are the steps actually? Anyone knows this? How the jnanis, they will go and merge into the Brahman? You studied in the 6 chapters. That is the main discussion actually. In the first 6 chapters, we studied jnanis, they go and merge into the Brahman. So how they are, what is the process is explained in this. Annapurna Mataji, boli, tell.
Prabhu, I'm not sure of this, Prabhu.
Oh, 3 steps are there, mainly 3 steps. So what are those 3 steps? First step is what? Doing the Nishkama Karma Yoga and understanding the self. That means getting the knowledge about the self. Swatma Visheka Gnanam. That means Tvam Padartha Visheka Gnanam.
About the self, Prabhu.
About the self. Tvam. Tattvamasi, in the Tat means what? Absolute truth. That is Brahman. Tvam means the Jivatma. Asi means you are. You are. That means you are the Brahman. That means Aikya Gnanam. So these 3 words are referring the 3 different knowledges. So first of all, knowing about the self. That is the first and foremost thing. So how it is going to happen? That is going to happen through the Nishkama Karma Yoga. Okay. Next, second step is what? Tat. Tat means what? About the Brahman. So that means, and understanding the nature of the Brahman. How you will be understanding the nature of the Brahman? By the studying the Upanishads. So by understanding the Upanishads, Tat Padardham, you will be understanding. Understanding that is also Chinmaya. Chinmaya Satta. That means Nirguna Nirvishesha Chinmatra Satta. That means it is completely free from the, so all the attributes and qualities. It is the plainly Chit Padartha. So this is the Tat actually. That is Brahman. So Tat Padartha Visheka Gnanam. So Tvam Padartha Visheka Gnanam, both you have. Then what is the next? One has to practice. So to make these 2 as one, to realize these 2 as one. So that is Aikya Gnanam. Then what will happen? One will be getting the Brahman realization. Then he is known as Gnani. So here one may use the Gnana Marga or otherwise yoga. So to that means Nishkama Karma Yogi. So after realizing himself as a self, so but he wants to become steady in that and wants to merge himself into the Brahman. That means, so for that he will be following the process of the Ashtanga Yoga. Yes. So
Prabhu,
like this,
Prabhu, these
Tat
are
and
the
Tvam are one, is able to know. So this is the actual process is explained in the first 6 chapters. Okay.
Prabhu, this Tattvamasi are the 3 steps which of what are what is this Tattvamasi?
Tattvamasi is a statement, Mother, Upanishad statement. Tat means Brahman, Tvam means you. So Brahman, you are Brahman. Asi means you are Brahman. In that English sentence, you are Brahman. So you means Tvam, R means Asi, and Brahman means Tat. This is the thing is happening actually. Okay, so that's why you see, now I'm just explaining to you from the book here. So what is said here? Pratham, everyone able to see or not? It's not a difficult science actually. Sanskrit is also very simple and easy. Try to understand this. Prathamena adhyaya shatkena antakarna sudyardaka nishta kama karma sapekshav. Antakarna sudyardaka nishta kama karma sapekshav. So antakarna sudyardaka, mane antakarna ko suddhi. That means the one which can do the purification of antakarna means, so yeah, antakarna. So that means internal senses. That's a heart. So antakarna sudyardaka nishtaka kama karma. Kama karma means this nishkama karma. So sudyardaka actually either. So nishkama karma. Kama karma means what you should take here? Nishkama karma. Nishta kama. Sudyardaka nishta kama karma is not. Is a spelling machine. Nishkama karma. Also you can take nishta kama karma means. So this nishkama karma yoga, what it is doing? Antakarna suddhi. So and this in this chapter, in the 6 chapters, Gnana Yoga Uktau. Gnana and Yoga both are discussed. So these 2 are what? Sadhako. That means these are all the sadhanas to give the result of moksha. And also both are dependent on, so this Gnana and Yoga process, both are dependent on this Nishkama Karma Yoga, which is going to do the purification of heart. Okay, this is the process happened in the first 6 chapters. And until unless there is a association of the devotee, there is no point of the bhakti. Bhakti, one can become devotee when with the sadhu sangha only. So that's why just by because these are all jnanis and karma yogi, that means nishkama karma yogi, he is studying the shastra. So in the shastra it is said that the one has to, so in the one has to offer the result of the karma to the Lord. It is said, if you want to get out from the bondage from the karma, you should offer. At that time, that nishkama karma yogi is offering the results of his karma to the Lord with the mood of what? With the mood of the getting out from the bondage from those results of karma. He doesn't have any mood of devotion. So that means pleasing the Lord is not his goal. His goal is what? Getting liberation from the result of the karma. With that mood he does. By doing that, he never get any bhakti. Just he will be detached from the result of karma. So by that, what will happen? So his heart is purified. So that means he'll be coming into the mode of goodness. And by that, he will be understanding himself as a soul. So then for that, he has to stabilize himself. That means by understanding himself as soul, he tries to negate all the dualities of the world. That means dukkeshu anudigramanaha, sukeshu vegataspraha, vita raga bhaya krodha, stitadhir muni ruchyate. So stitadhir muni means what here? So stita prajna, what is he doing? He is dukkeshu anudigramanaha, sukeshu vegataspraha. That means he is not at all agitated by any pain, or is not agitated by any pleasure. Because how he is doing this? By understanding himself as soul. So how he come to this stage? By performing the Nishkama Karma Yoga, where he is offering the result to the Lord with the mood of liberation. So until unless there is no touch of the devotee, so there is no point of the pleasing the Lord here. So that is not the subject matter of the first 6 chapters. You're understanding? So that's why Acharya is clearly explaining here what? In the first 6 chapters, we have seen the Jnana and Yoga. Okay? Which are dependent on the... So now that's why the next 7 chapters are there to explain about the devotion, the third element. That means Jnana, Yoga, and next Bhakti. So Bhakti point will be discussed in this 7 chapters. That is the point he is going to discuss now. Okay, is any doubt in this? Any question in this regard?
Yes, Prabhuji, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Did I hear that that when Gyan Yogi wants to merge after understanding that he is a soul through this process of detached from karma, then his heart gets purified, then he realizes himself as soul. After that, when he realizes himself as soul, then to merge himself with the super soul, does he follow
Not super soul, Brahman.
With Brahman, does he follow the process of Ashtanga Yoga? Is he supposed to?
So he can meditate Ashtanga Yoga. Here he tries to get the Samadhi on the Brahman, or otherwise also super soul also is possible. So that means Saijja is also 2 types. So Gnani's case, you should take so they are meditating on the Brahman.
Okay.
So they are merging in the Brahman. And the yogis, they are merging on the super soul with the mood of what? Even they get the darshan of the Lord, and they are getting that means if you see in the Kapila Bhagavan's teachings in the 3rd canto, 28th chapter, so there yogis, by meditating on the Paramatma, they are getting the attachment with him, but still with forcibly, that means they are trying to stop that attachment, and so they will be maintaining themselves as different from him, and they don't want to become attached to him. So, and next, so that kind of yogi is go and will merge into the body of the Paramatma actually. So that is the Saijam is 2 types. Merging is 2 types. Merging into the Brahman, or otherwise merging into the Paramatma also. Okay, in the case of the Jnanis, they go and merge into the Brahman. In the case of the yogis, they go and merge into the Paramatma.
Okay.
Okay.
Prabhu, just very quickly in regards to the second one, when we say, because usually they are the Brahmavadis. First, the Brahmavadis are the ones who are basically want to, they have Paramatma realization really. But what I also heard is that they actually, they also get to Shantaras as well.
So that we'll be discussing now in the 7th chapter. So how the Santarasa and other, that means this Mukti, Salokya, Sarupya, and so on, so other Muktis, all will be discussed in the coming this 6 chapters. So that is the point actually. But just by the in the mood of the moksha, so they will be getting the Saijya Mukti only. So when there is an element of the some kind of Aishwarya Jnana is added, so then they will be getting the other these. So that we'll be discussing now in this coming 6 chapters. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes. So I request all of the students to raise the hand, and I will take your turn actually. So yeah, otherwise, so that the time will be saved. So yeah. Govinda Prabhu is sleeping, or the other way his photo, that is. Govinda? I don't know what Govinda is doing. Okay, this is clear now for all of you. So now I will take questions later. So let me finish. Now we have already 8 o'clock. So let us go to the further discussions. In the next 6 chapters, that means 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in these 6 chapters, we are going to discuss the Karma Gnana Mishra Bhakti. Karma Gnana Mishra Bhakti. Karma Gnana. Karma Mishra Bhakti or Karma Gnana Mishra Bhakti. Okay, Gnana Mishra Bhakti. That means Karma Gnana Mishra Bhakti means it's covering everything. Mishra Bhakti we are going to discuss. Karma Gnana Adi Mishra Shravana. And by that we are going to get the Salokya Mukti, so and so. Those will be discussing. Okay. So next, Sarva Mukhya. And also we are going to discuss in this next to these 6 chapters. So about the Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga is completely independent from the Karma and Jnana. It is completely independent from Karma and Jnana. But Jnana Yoga is dependent on what? Jnana Yoga is dependent on who is the entry door for the Jnana Yoga. For who is the entry door for the Jnana Yoga? That is the Karma, Nishkama Karma. So that's a Nishkama Karma Yoga is the entry door for the Jnana. But here for the Bhakti, there is nothing. It is independent from any yoga. It doesn't need anyone's help. It is completely independent from the Karma and Jnana. Okay? But Jnana is dependent on the Nishkama Karma Yoga. That is the point actually. And also, Jnana, Karma, and Yoga all are dependent on Bhakti. Without the little portion of the Bhakti, like example, in the case of the Antakarna Suddhi, so Bhakti means what? Here, Bhakti is also many types. So here in the case of the, you'll be understanding. So the Nishkama Karma Yogi is getting the Antakarna Suddhi. So how he is getting the Antakarna Suddhi? So that means even Nishkama Karma Yoga, to purify the heart, it needs a little portion of the Bhakti. How it is possible? So when he is offering that result to the Lord with the Tyaga Buddhi, that means not to please the Lord, but just with the Tyaga Buddhi also is doing. So then that is also considered as Aropa Siddha Bhakti. So by that Bhakti element, he is going to get the purification of the heart. Okay, this point is clear.
Prabhu, what was the name of that Bhakti? Arop Siddha, what you said?
Arop Siddha Bhakti means offering the result of the karma to the Lord. Then that karma is known as Bhakti. What kind of Bhakti? It is not the pure devotional service. It is Aropa Siddha Bhakti. There, this offering is done with the mood of just to So tatyaga buddhi, just to leave, with the mood of leaving the result of that karma. So it is given to the Lord. So see, giving to the Lord can be two different ways. So you are giving the result of that karma with the love, that is just for the pleasing, that is different. And giving that result just to come out from the bondage from that karma. Okay, then that is another case actually. So this is known as Arop Siddha Bhakti.
Okay.
Okay. Understanding or not? Everyone is looking blank. Blank. I don't know what is happening. Yeah.
True, you mean to say this karma arpana kind of is Arop Siddha Bhakti?
Yes.
Without having in love?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Clear.
With love or without love, both are known as Arop Siddha Bhakti, but types these are in Arop Siddha. Okay. So with that, what is happening? Purification is happening. So that's why what is the main point I want to say? So any process, karma, jnana, or the yoga, everything is dependent on bhakti, but bhakti is independent of every process. Okay, that is the main point you should understand here. Okay, next, let us see the further discussion. So where it is said actually, bhakti is dependent. So yat karma bir yat tapasa jnana vairagya tascha yat. So it is said that in the 11th canto actually it is. So the meaning of this sloka is whatever is achieved by the karma, jnana, tapas, and vairagya, that everything is possible by my devotion. Who is saying? Krishna is saying to the Uddhava. So this is the proof that bhakti yoga is completely free from the jnana and yoga. Okay. And that bhakti yoga we are going to discuss in these 6 chapters, middle 6 chapters. In middle 6 chapters, what we are going to discuss? Karma, jnana, mishra, bhakti, and also the pure devotional service. Which is pure devotional service. What is the definition of pure devotional service? Tell me.
Free from any desire. Free from
No, raising the hand. Actually, very bad habit you all had. So raise the hand and then I will select. So Srimati Kishori Mataji.
Prabhu, is it Anya Bhilashita Shunyam?
Okay. What is that Anya Bhilashita Shunyam?
The pure devotional service which is favorable to
what is the meaning of Anya Bhilashita Shunyam? Anya Bhilashita what? So okay, Sham Karuna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Anyavilash Dashunya means devoid of all kinds of karma, yoga, and jnana.
That is Anyabhilasha Sunyam, no? Wrong.
All this desire for sense gratifications exclusively.
Shamapriya Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhu, this is what we learned from Nectar of Devotion, the definition of devotional service, that is free from Gyan Karma, is free from Gyan and Karma, and is favorable to Krishna. It should be favorable, shouldn't be unfavorable. That is pure devotional service.
What is that?
What is, Prabhu?
What is that?
What is
you are saying? This is you are saying. What is that actually? Can you explain the meaning of the? Huh?
Yeah, it should be free from any selfish desire. The whole desire should be for pleasing Krishna, and there should not be any selfish motive, and it should be favorable. Like
means
the
what?
demons also are. Yeah, that is pure devotion.
No, it's not a clear definition actually. Who else? Annapurna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The Anyabhilashita Shunyam means we have to be devoid of all the sense gratifications that are.
How to start the definition of the Anyabhilasha? So Suddha Bhakti, where you start? How to explain this?
Suddha Bhakti will start at the time when you are doing Nishkama Karma and when you are going to meet the devotee, Prabhuji.
No.
By the mercy of pure devotee, by getting the pure devotional service.
So, okay. Let it be. So, how to explain, how to say that if you want to say what is a pure devotional service, first of all, you should start from the Krishna Anusilanam. The word Anusilanam you should take. What is the meaning of Anushilanam? Anushilanam means
favorable to Krishna.
No, Anushilanam is not favorable to Sri Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, we have to follow the.
Wait, Mataji, okay, please. So Anushilanam means what? Anushilanam is two types, Chesta Rupa and Bhava Rupa. It can be activity or it can be Bhava. Okay. So that means Chesta means doing any activity through the body or the mind or otherwise speech. Doing activity, body or mind or speech. What Anusilanam? Krishna Anusilanam. To whom? Krishna. Doing activities by mind, speech or the by mind, speech or the body to Krishna is known as Krishna Anusilanam. That means any activity through body or speech or mind you are doing to Krishna, then that is Krishna Anusilanam. Or otherwise having the bhava in the heart, that is also known as Krishna Anusilanam. If you do that in favorably to the Krishna, so then that is Anukulyena Krishna Anusilanam. Okay, this is the definition of the bhakti. That means doing in favorably, so some activity to the Krishna by the body, speech or the mind, or otherwise having the bhava, so towards the Krishna in favorable. Okay, this is the Anukulyan Krishna Anusilanam, but it should be that activity should be done for the, that should be Anyabhilasha Sunyam. That means you should not, you should do that activity for Krishna without desiring anything than the pleasure of the Krishna. Anyabhilashita Sunyam. Okay, and also that activity should be free from the jnana and karma. Okay, you should study in a systematic way. What is this? Actually, you are saying that Sanyabhilasha Sunya means favorable someone and some.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice explanation.
Okay. Okay, next, this is the Suddha Bhakti actually, and this we want to, that means Gnana Karma Dhanavritam, that means it's free from the Gnana and Karma. So that kind of, that is going to give the results of all the other sadhanas. That means whatever you get the result by doing the karma, gnana, tapas, vairagya, means renunciation, whatever results you get, those results can be given, you can get by the bhakti also, just by this bhakti. Bhakti is having such a potency without doing those, just it can give those results also. Yat karmabir yat tapasa. Okay, that means in this next 6 chapters, 7, 8, 9, 10, we are going to discuss about the karma gnana mishra bhakti. So, and also we are going to study the pure devotional service, which is free from the karma and gnana, which can give the a result of any other sadhanas. But we see actually in the Upanishads one statement, tameva tada, so tameva viditva atimrutyam eti. What is the Upanishad statement is saying? Upanishad statement is saying that tameva viditva atimrutyam eti. So Shruti is saying tameva viditva. That means after knowing that, one will be getting the liberation. That means one is going beyond the death. After knowing that, tameva viditva means after knowing that, atimrutyumeti, that means he is surpassing the death. This is a statement of the Shruti. Okay, you are understanding? Please try to follow carefully. So I will be asking the questions after the class, and expected otherwise your marks will be cut if you don't reply. So negative marks will be added. Okay, so here tameva viditva atimrutyumeti. This is a Shruti statement here. What we are seeing. So after knowing, that means after knowing that one will be going back to the Godhead, or one will be surpassing the death actually. So one is overcoming the death. So after knowing, viditva means after knowing. So then but how but Upanishad statement is saying that what, after jnana only one will be overcoming the or crossing over the death. But how bhakti is, we should understand, how can you say here bhakti can give the liberation? Understanding the point Purvapakshi subjection, is it clear? Annapurna Mataji?
Not clear, Prabhuji. I didn't get that point, Prabhuji.
So what Upanishad is saying, tameva viditva atimrutyumeti. So this is a statement you should take, all of you. So please try to note down or write down. Tameva viditva atimrutyumeti. Okay, then I will reduce my so intensity of the class and I will go so superficially. Okay. So if it is a difficulty, then I don't know. So how the students level I should understand and go. So yes, Prabhu, Rajendra Prabhu, please, you are raising the hand. What question do you have? You can unmute, Prabhu. Unmute it. Unmute it, Prabhu, first.
I'm from Germany and I can hardly read English, so this I can't read.
Yeah, I shared file also to you. You know.
Okay.
I shared same file in diacritics.
Yeah. But I can't read the script.
Achha.
But I listen to you. That's so nice. Thank you so kindly.
Yeah, Prabhu, no problem. Thank you. So yeah, here the Upanishad statement, what it is saying, the Shruti is saying, Upanishad or Shruti is saying that. So after knowing that means absolute truth. So one will be surpassing the death. Okay, this is a statement you take. So here after knowing means knowledge. That means knowledge is the cause for surpassing the death. This is the statement we are hearing. So then by doing the bhakti, how one can surpass the death? This is the question by the opponent, Purvapakshi. Purvapakshi means opponent. So who is not believing in the bhakti, so he is raising this question. Okay. So then we are saying that here, so we are saying that no, here by knowing means here what we have to say. So knowing the Paramatma, that is Tatpadartha. So by the knowing the Tatpadartha, that means Paramatma, by the bhakti. So by the bhakti, by doing the bhakti, one can understand the Paramatma, and so that's why bhakti is the cause to know that, and that's why bhakti is the cause to get the, that means to cross over the death. Okay, if this sentence is not so much clear, so then I will summarize these points, because I thought that so students, yeah, anyway, because text is also difficult. So then what is the summary I want to say here? So next point is So we are studying in the scriptures, in the Shrutis. So what Gnani, just in the first 6 chapters, so we are trying to, that means see the Gnana Yoga. In that Gnana Yoga, what we are understanding that, so first, Tvam Padartha Vishaya Gnana, that means knowing about the self, knowing about the Brahman. Then after that, so merging into the, that means Aikya Gnana, that means realizing that self is not different from the Brahman. So this is the thing, these are the 3 steps in the Gnana Yoga, so which we have discussed in the 6 chapters. Here, the point is, yes, Gnana is ultimately cause there. We are seeing the Gnana is ultimately cause. So we are seeing as that means to get the liberation. So, but here the Gnana independently can give that result. That means merging into the Brahman can happen by the Gnana. Is it going to happen? So it is not going to happen by simply Gnana. So even that means Naishkarmim apyachyuta bhavavarjitam na shobhate gnanamalam niranjanam. So even the any Gnana, so it cannot give the liberation moksha. That means merging into the Brahman. So there also some kind of need of element of the bhakti is needed. Element of bhakti means the pure, not pure devotional service, then bhakti element, somehow or extent. That means bhakti element, little portion of the bhakti is needed. By that bhakti only, so this Aikya Gnanam one can get. So that is the point. We are just glories of the bhakti we are seeing here. And next, Gnana Yoga Yoho Mukti Sadhanatva Prasiddhistu Tatrastha Gunibhuta Bhakti Prabhava Deva Taya Vina Tayoh Akinchit Karatvasya Bahusha Shravanat. So you can make a so two parts actually. Here Gnana and Yoga are there, and here Bhakti is there. So, okay, in the first 6 chapters, so you studied. So Gnana or Yoga are giving the liberation. That means he's going beyond the death. So that means he's surpassing the death by the Gnana. And here, but in the Bhakti, so by hearing the glories of the Bhakti from the 11th canto, we are understanding that Bhakti can give the results of, so from this, it can give. If you expect any result of the karma by doing the Bhakti, so the Bhakti can give that. So this is the special quality of the Bhakti. Okay. So now the point is, Gnana is giving the Mukti. In the first 6 chapters we studied. So how Gnana can give the Mukti? How Gnana can give the Gnana is dependent on what? Sattva Guna. Gnana is nothing but is coming out from the Sattva Guna. So Sattva Sanjayate Gnanam. So that is coming from the Sattva Guna. Then how that Gnana is giving how it can Sattva Guna, the element, something is in the Sattva Guna, how it can take you beyond the modes? Can anyone tell this? Anyone can answer this?
Can you repeat the question, please, Prabhu?
So Prabhu, Gnana is out of Sattva Guna. So how Gnana can give liberation? Liberation means going beyond the modes. Actually, in the first 6 chapters, what you studied actually? I think you all forgot the whole total concept. So how the Gnana is giving the liberation, which is coming from the Sattva. Yes, Prabhu, Jitendra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, by Gyan, we are detaching from the matter. We are separating ourselves. We are realizing we are the soul. So it will take us from the liberation, means suppress the death.
It will take?
It will mean suppress the death. So we are through the Gyan.
How it can suppress? Death means going beyond the modes.
Because
Suppressing it, crossing the death means we get going beyond the modes. But Gnana is coming from the Sattva Guna, so that is, it is in the Sattva. That whatever is coming from the Sattva Guna, it also is in the modes only. That Gnana is in the Sattva. That is Satvikam, we say. It is coming from the Sattva Guna. So how this Gnana will take one beyond the modes? How Jivatma can?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
If anything is in the any product coming from the modes cannot take you beyond the modes. You're understanding this point? This is clear. Actually, anything coming out from the modes, it cannot take you to it cannot take you out of the modes. So how the Gnanis are getting the liberation? Adoksha Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, because of little tinge of bhakti, you can say.
Yeah, this is the answer actually. Because their Gnanis means what? Their bhakti is there. Little bhakti means what? There is Gauni Bhuta Bhakti. In the case of the Gnanis, little portion of the bhakti element is there. So little portion of bhakti element is there means how it is there? So somehow or other, some little, that means maybe while studying the Shastras, so while doing the Sandhya Vandan, he might be taking the names of the holy names. Or otherwise, he is doing the bhakti, that means Shravanam Kirtanam is a process, is a element, is a supporting element to get the liberation. So then that bhakti is known as Gauni Bhuta Bhakti. Their Gnana is the primary Gnanis. So they are practicing the what? They are cultivating the knowledge from the Upanishads, and they are following the process of the meditation, where they will be, so while they will be doing, that means while practicing the knowledge, so they will be doing, that means various activities for the purification of the heart. In that they will be doing some kind of Shravanam Kirtanam of the Vishnu. So that is known as Gauni Bhuta Bhakti. They are doing that what? They are doing that for the sake of liberation. And by that element of the bhakti, this Gnani, that means he is able to cross the modes. Just by the Gnana, he cannot cross over. That is the logical point. Because Gnana is coming from the Sattva Guna. Whatever is coming from the Sattva Guna, that cannot take the Jivatma to beyond the modes. The element which is beyond the modes, that is needed here to take the Jivatma out from the modes. So that is what then, that is the Guni Bhuta Bhakti, that is secondary Bhakti, we can say. Guni Bhuta Bhakti. Okay. So, and without any, that means Gnani's case, what is happening? In the case of the Gnanis, they will be practicing the Bhakti as an element. As an element, what kind of element? As an element of as a sadhana. They are practicing the Shravanam Kirtanam as a sadhana for the liberation. Like karmis. Even karmis, they don't get any result from the karma. Karmis means what? So they are performing the karma to get the fruity results. There also there is a need of element of bhakti. Because even in the karma case also, you need little element of the bhakti. So what is that bhakti? So that means, example, if you perform a yajna, so to perform yajna, dravya suddhi, mantra suddhi, devata, so everything should be clean. Everything should be clean. So that is not possible in this material world. In the karma, if you have little bit also vigunata, that means a defect, then result will not come. So that's why then, like you see, you are performing the Rajasuya Yaga, you have tons of the ghee and tons of the hundreds of people are involved. Everyone should be perfect. All the mantras should be perfectly chanted. So dravya should be clean. So is it possible? It's not possible. Then for the purification of this, what we'll be doing? We will be reciting the some Om Apavitro Pavitrova. So that means we'll be stating the names of the Vishnu. So here we are using the bhakti as, that means chanting the Vishnu's name, we are chanting for the purpose of what? For the purification of the dravya, and that dravya is used in the karma. So that's why what you are going to happen. So then that's why that purified dravya is going to give the result. So here bhakti is becoming the just a assistant to karma to give its result. Then this kind of bhakti is known as Guni Bhuta Bhakti. Because here karma is a main and bhakti is secondary. Here bhakti is, that means chanting the Hari's name is the bhakti. But it is used as a supporting element, as in the process of karma. So then it is known as Guni Bhuta Bhakti, and because of that only he is able to, that karmi is able to get the result. So that's why if you see in the process of the karma kanda, everywhere you'll be seeing the mentioning the names of the Vishnu. The same way in the process of the jnana also they will be following. So bhakti as a supporting element for the purification of the heart, and also to get the liberation. That means to get the aikya jnanam. That means merging the soul into the Brahman. That means the Jivatma is coming out from the modes. That is possible by only that bhakti element, whatever is they have done. So they don't, that bhakti is not just for the pleasing the Lord, just they are doing that for the sake of liberation. That's why it is known as Guni Bhuta Bhakti. Is clear this point? I don't know actually, like this, you show like this, otherwise, yeah, at least. So now you understood that in the case of the jnanis or the karmis, without support of the bhakti, so they will never get even the results of those sadhanas. So that their bhakti is there in the form of what? In the secondary, I mean the Guni Bhuta. In those two processes, Guni Bhuta Bhakti is there. But if you do only bhakti without any karma, and if you expect the result of those karma and jnana, still bhakti can give independently. That is the power of the bhakti. Okay, that you are understanding?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you repeat that statement?
Who is? Acha.
Prabhu, can you repeat that statement, what you said? See, karma and jnana cannot stay independently without bhakti. They need Guni Bhuta Bhakti, you told. We got it. We understood. But
to
bhakti,
produce their result.
the glorification of bhakti, you told something, right? Bhakti can give the results of both karma and jnana. That is what you mean to say?
Bhakti without dependent on the. Actually, why you people are not raising the hand? Or otherwise send the message.
No, Prabhu, because in between when we want to make a notes, immediately we have to ask you to repeat the sentence, because by the time you finish, we will not be able to finish writing, na?
So maybe in the, okay. But then everyone speak now, it will be a problem actually. That's why I say actually. So maybe you can note it, and you can ask also if you whenever give the time for the questions. So then at that time you can ask this sentence, can you fill it back? So otherwise all of a sudden I'm hearing someone's voice. So I'll be surprised actually, what is this? So that's why please. So this is the classroom etiquettes. Otherwise a lot of time will be wasted here. So people keep on speaking. So of course you can, otherwise if you send message, I can immediately see here. Repeat the sentence like that. Then I can understand something is emergency. So like that, otherwise so emergency, if you write in the message chat box, I will be seeing. Then I will be taking that person's request. Otherwise, if you have the question, just a question, so I will be clarifying that when I give the time for the questions. Okay. So, okay, anyway, I'm repeating the sentence here. Karma and Jnana, they are dependent on the Gunibhuta Bhakti to give their result. Okay, this sentence is clear. So next sentence is Bhakti is independently without, that means independently means without dependent on the Karma and Jnana. So it is able to give the results of both that Karma and Jnana. Not only Karma and Jnana, any sadhana. Bhakti can give the result of any other sadhanas without depending on those sadhanas. Yeah. Okay, I'm lagging in my target actually. Because if you don't understand these philosophies, these 6 chapters I cannot explain also. What is Gunibhuta Bhakti and how the Karma Gnana, that means, so they are dependent on the Bhakti, and then you cannot understand Gunibhuta Bhakti, you cannot understand the Karma Gnana Mishra Bhakti also. And you cannot understand what is Suddha Bhakti also. So these are points are very needed to be clarified. That's why I'm taking the bit time here. So next, so if you come to this sloka, before coming to this sloka, one more, few more points. So that's why without, now from this philosophy, what we are understanding, even without the gnana, that means without the gnana sadhana. So without the gnana sadhanas, so if you practice purely bhakti, still you can get the moksha. Yes. Without practicing the gnana sadhana, you can get the liberation or not? Yes. Bhakti is having such a potency. But if you practice the gnana, what are the gnana sadhanas? Can anyone explain what are the gnana sadhanas? Yes, Krishna Sri Prabhu.
So is it a study of Vedanta?
Okay,
Study of
and
Shastra.
else? Gnana sadhanas are what? Few examples. Yes, Prabhu. Punya Shlok.
Prabhu, one thing what Prabhu said, yes, reading the scriptures Vedanta, but after that, basically, once gets knowledge, one contemplates, and then one has to meditate while performing austerities, and when one gets more renounced, they start the practice of Ashtanga Yoga. So that is their main
sadhanas are generally, that means jnanis, that means you should take it, that's controlling the senses, that means controlling the mind, or swadhyaya, that means austerity, and following the various vratas. These are all comes under the gnana sadhanas. So Ajamila was in the 6th canto, actually in the first chapter. So various gnana sadhanas are given. So karma sadhanas and gnana sadhanas should be clear. Otherwise, how can you identify this sloka? So this sloka is karma gnana Mr. Bhakti is telling about Ardi. So in the karma gnana Mr. Bhakti or the gnana Mr. Bhakti purely, so those will be understanding by the, so the understanding the sadhanas. So this sadhana is belong to which, that should be known to the students. So example is, for example, tapasya, brahmacharya vrata. that means controlling the mind, controlling the senses, and renunciation, and speaking the truth. These are all, and following the various rules and regulations. These are all gnana sadhanas. So sloka is, so 6th canto, 1st chapter, 13th sloka. Tapasa brahmacharyena shamena cha dhamena cha tyagena satya sauchabhyam yamena niyamena cha. These are all the various gnana sadhanas. Okay, so these gnana sadhanas, by following these gnana sadhanas, that means, so to go and merge into the Brahman, one has to control the senses or not. Gnanis, they control senses, they control the mind, and also they do the various austerities just to himself hold himself on the self, that means, and that means on the knowledge, that means I am the soul, I am not body. So to stick to this knowledge, so to stand on this knowledge, so he's always, that means he's jayato vishyan pumsa stangasteshu upajayate. That means, so many times what is happening, so this outer, that means world, there are so many sense objects, they are coming in contact with his senses, and then what is happening by contemplating on that, so he is trying to, that means this will pulling down. So for that, what he is trying to do, Gnanis, what they do generally, what is happening in the process of the Gnanis? That means whoever is realizing the Brahman, so internally what is happening in his heart? Yes, Rajendra Prabhu.
Well, his heart becomes very hard.
So that means what?
Well, he becomes indifferent. There's not really love.
Yeah, that means, like you see, now in the present case, what that means, who anyone is not a gnani, he's just a materialistic person. In his case, what will happen if he see a sense object, example Rasagulla? When he see a Rasagulla, then what will happen in his heart? Immediately he will be identifying that as a Rasagulla, and after that, already he has experiences about the Rasagulla, and he is recollecting those. Then by seeing the object Rasagulla and recollecting the previous samskaras related to that, and that means already some vasanas are there, and based upon that, he's getting some pravrutti, his hands and legs are moving towards that and to eat. He'll be getting the desire now, so new desire to eat that. This will happen in the general, any karmi case. But Gnani, what he is doing? Gnani, how he is controlling his senses? Can anyone explain the process here? Punishlok Prabhu.
Prabhu, because a jnani understands, he understands his real identity, and he sees that from the Shastra Chakshu, which means he sees that Shastra Chakshu means from the eyes of the Shastra, he sees that Rasagulla as a sense object. I mean, in real terms, that this is going to entangle him. So the thoughts may inside be there in the mind, but like that shloka in the chapter 2, I think 7:1, the thoughts may come in the mind, but they stay steady like the oceans. The rivers may come in, but he doesn't try to satisfy those desires, because it's body will see something, senses will see something, even in a body of a jnani, but he doesn't gives into them. He has the strength to overcome them through jnana and through the process of yoga.
Okay. Anyone explain? What is happening in the case of Gnanis? I expect everyone to on their cameras. Whoever is not on that means their cameras are not on, means they will be absent. So in the class, so I will be noting their names and getting the screenshots, and I will be putting absent. So if you have less than 75% your attendance for this module, so you'll not be allowed to write the exam. Everyone should with cameras. If any emergency is there, they should ask permission from me. Otherwise, I will by default I will consider absent for them. Okay, this is the final warning actually. Okay, so I will not repeat once again. If your camera is on, off means you are absent. You should sit like a student in the class. How you are sitting in front of teacher. So with the same attention, with the same kind of focus, so you should sit and hear the class. And also come with the proper tilak and proper Vaishnava dress. So these are all the needed, must and should. Okay. So anyway, now I am asking how the Gnani is. So he's controlling, that means himself from this. What is the process mechanism is happening inside? So if you see this, in the case of that is explained in the first 6 chapters. So Gnani's case, what will happen? Even if we see the sense object, so he will be trying to see the non-difference. That means he is not seeing the any attributes of that. What you studied, that means, so in the previously chapters, that means Gnanis, that means Loshtravat Paradharesh. Actually, what is that? Brahmana Hasti Gavini. What is the sloka number? Can anyone? So tell me the sloka number. Sixth chapter, no, that is?
No, 5th. 517.
Huh? What is the chapter name? Sloka number. That means he is equal to the dog eater, and also the dog and elephant.
In chapter 5, I think it was 17, 18.
17, 18.
5:18, Prabhu.
Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Swapake cha Pandita Samadarshinaha. What do you mean of Samadarshinaha? What do you understood from this? Samadarshinaha means he is seeing all these equal. How it is possible? How to see that? So that means in the case of the Gnanis, they don't see any merits or demerits of that object. Like example, in front of you, if I keep a mobile and if I keep a one pen, so you are seeing the usability of these two objects are differently, and also the shape and the color and various attributes of these two objects you are seeing differently. But Gnani's case, what will happen? He is not at all seeing the attributes of these two objects. Then what will happen? Then he'll be seeing Dasarati Prabhu. So what will happen then? If you don't see the specifically attributes of these two, the shape, colors, and the usability, principle of the usability, then what will happen? Samadarshinaha means what? Seeing both are equal. Then is there any difference then?
We cannot discriminate it.
Yeah. So then he will not be discriminating these two. Like this, his antakarana, he is trained. His antakarana, that means in his antakarana, there is no change. Since he is seeing both as one, so there is no change at all. Okay, so that means to stop his internal senses to not to react for this, what he will be doing? He will be maintaining his antakarana such a hard, so that he will not be seeing any difference, and he will become the equal to these two objects. Samadarshana means is that. That means avikriyata. That means in the heart there is no vikruti. There is no transformation in the heart by seeing the object. How it is possible? Because he is not seeing the attributes of these two objects. So that is a practice of the Gnanis actually. That's a very tough, it's a really tough job actually. Kleshodikatarastesham. That means in the next 12th chapter you'll be seeing. It's too much tough. So like this Gnanis, they try to get this, they will be doing the brahmachari, vrata, tapasya, controlling senses, many activities they follow. So then the heart will become so strong and it will not be reacting for any objects then. So like that, so he will be understanding and he is standing. Then how he is maintaining this heart so strong? Based upon the knowledge. That means I am not the body, I am the soul. By the strength of the knowledge only he is maintaining this. Dasaraj Prabhu is eating, huh? No. Okay. So, like this, Jnanis, they are trying to maintain their hearts. So then what will happen? So they will not be reacting. That means that's why Sukadev, Brahmavadis, all they practice like this. Not the Advaitavadis. There is a difference between the Brahmavadis and Advaitavadis. Okay. Okay. Punyashlok Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So I would just make a comment and just check with you, because obviously from the Jnani point of view, they see everything as Brahman. So
Yes.
they just see different transformation, that pen or phone, just a different transformation because of the level of knowledge they have. They're seeing through that knowledge. They don't
Yes.
see from these eyes, see through the knowledge from
Yes.
that object. Whereas a devotee of the Lord in bhakti, they see, when advanced, they see that as a transformation of the material energy of the Lord.
Yes.
So it's just a different perception.
Yeah, that means what? No, seeing through the Shastra means what? Samadarshina word is important here. So seeing
Because
the
it is
two
very
objects
Brahman.
equal. Yeah.
Because
So
everything
that means
for them,
what here? So nirvikalpa bedaha. That means nirvikalpa bedaha. That means so they are not seeing the difference. That is the point you should mention. Sama. That means samadarshina means they are not seeing the difference. How can you see the non-difference between two objects? How can you see two objects are not different? When you stop seeing the attributes of those two objects. That's the point. That means, of course, yeah, Sastra Chakshu, what is that actually? What does that mean? That is the point I was asking.
they're seeing both the substance as Brahman, and they
Yes.
don't go into detail that what it does for me, what pleasure it can give to me. They don't go to that level. They only stop at the level of, they just stop there and say, this is
Yeah, they
Brahman.
don't see any attributes. Everything is Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Everything is Brahman. Everything is one.
Yeah.
There is no gold. And if you say they are seeing the attributes and they are stopping at that level, then the millions of, then their process, their antakarana is always transforming actually. That is also never happen actually. They stop the heat itself.
Usually, Prabhu, I give one example that, just like there is atoms divided into neutrons, protons, electrons, and different objects are there. They're just the different permutation combinations of those neutrons, protons, electrons. And that's how one becomes a gold, one becomes an iron, one becomes something else. So, but from an atomic point of view, they all are same.
Yeah.
It's just that, just to make
Like that.
Yeah.
Yes. So ultimately, Sankets, they will be using the modes. Like that's an Nayayika's case. So Nayayikas, they use these atoms. But if you come to the Jnanis, so they will be using the point of this Sankhya philosophy. By using the modes, everything is coming out from the Sattva Rajas Tamas. And after that also, by the maturity of that knowledge, so they will be rejecting, by studying the Upanishads, this material world, and even they are not seeing those things are non-different from the Brahman. That is the even higher stage actually. If you go to the higher stage of that, then they are not seeing anything different from the Brahman. That is possible when they stop seeing the attributes. Yeah. So next.
Prabhuji, here,
so like this Jnanis, they will be trying to go and merge into the Brahman. And there is a use of the bhakti, there is a need of the bhakti there itself. That is a Gonibhuta bhakti is used there. Then here what is said, now yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamah matah. This is the sloka he said in the 6th chapter. Yes, what is sloka number? So 47 sloka. What is the meaning of this sloka? Can anyone explain this? Yeah, Rajendra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Well, this is really the verse where it starts with Bhakti Yoga.
Yes.
You know, it ends really. You explained it so nicely. I actually never heard it so nicely explained as you did now.
Yes, Prabhu.
Because, like, for me, this is totally foreign. You know, to the whole philosophy. But you explained it very, very nicely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yoginam api sarvesham madgatenantaratmana. Can anyone explain this? Because this is the last sloka in the previous chapter. So when we are continuing this sloka, so if you see in the point of Krishna, he is not having any chapters. He's keep on saying. So what we should understand from this? Annapurna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, here Yoginam observation means from all the yogis who are having great faith and who are absorbed in the consciousness of Krishna and who are going to render service to him and they are most intimately with him, Prabhuji.
Okay. So here yoginam api sarvesham. Here yoginam is a sashti vibhakti. You should take the panchami vibhakti here. That means you should not take the sashti vibhakti. What is the meaning of sashti vibhakti and panchami vibhakti? So if you take the sashti vibhakti, so that means among yogis, that meaning will come. Among yogis, bhaktas are superior. That meaning we should take are the, so compared to yogis, bhaktas are superior. What we should take?
Among yogis, bhaktas are only superior because yogis.
Among yogis, bhaktas are superior is right meaning, or that means bhaktas are superior than yogis. What meaning you will take?
Bhaktas are superior, Prabhuji. Whatever may be bhaktas.
Among yogis, bhaktas are superior we should take, or bhaktas are superior than the yogis, than all the yogis. What meaning you should take?
Bhaktas are superior than yogis.
Among the yogis, bhaktas are superior.
Very good meaning. So whoever saying this, raise the hand. Among yogis, bhaktas are superior. Yeah. But actually the answer is, that is not the answer actually. Here Srila Jiva Goswami also explains. So he explains that the bhaktas are superior than yogis. That means till now whatever jnanis and yogis he explained, Krishna explained, so bhaktas are not coming in that category. He is completely exclusively, he is separating him from them. If you say bhaktas are superior among yogis, that means, so bhakta is also explained in these 6 chapters. That meaning will come. That means bhaktas also explained, jnanis also explained, and yogis also explained. Among those, bhaktas are superior. That meaning will come. But that is not the meaning actually, because in these 6 chapters we are not at all seeing the really bhakti yoga. So that's why he is going to start the new topics. So what is meaning you should take? Bhaktas are superior than yogis, which are explained in these 2 chapters, in the 6 chapters. You understood the meaning? What is the difference? Among if you take and than if you take, what is the difference? There's a big difference is there. So now the point you come, you should be clear what is explained in these chapters, 6 chapters, and next 6 chapters, and what is the Jnana Yoga, what is Nishkama Karma Yoga, what is Bhakti Yoga, what are the different types of the Bhakti Yoga, Karma Mishra Bhakti, Gnana Mishra Bhakti, Karma Gnana Mishra Bhakti, Aropa Siddha Bhakti, so Sarupa Siddha Bhakti, so Satvika Bhakti, Samasika Bhakti, Rajasika Bhakti, Nirguna Bhakti, Suddha Bhakti. All should be clear. Don't mix everything as one and khichdi. Then otherwise you cannot understand what kind of bhakti you are doing. If you don't know the refined thing, How can if you are purchasing the oil, if you don't know the pure oil, so then how can you purchase a pure oil? If you don't know the qualities of the pure oil, how can you purchase that? If you want to practice the pure devotion, you should know that what is the pure devotion, what is the mixed devotion, and what is other devotions. Okay, next. So in the first, the 6 chapters, the finally Krishna, after explaining the Jnana Yoga and the Ashtanga Yoga, he is saying that, hey Arjun, whatever I explained in 6 chapters, so compared to those yogas, the supermost is Bhakti Yoga. I am going to tell about that in this next 6 chapters. That is the point he is saying in this. So in the, that is the ending of that chapter. Yoginamapi sarvesham madgatenantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamamataha. So compared to that means the yogis, bhakti, the superior. Bhaktas are superior than the yogis. So bhaktas means madgatena antaratmana. That means whose mind is absorbed in me. So now if you come to our sloka, main योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनान्तरात्मना श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां समे युक्ततमः मतः इति तद्वाक्येन तन्मनस्कत्वे सति तद्भजनविषयकश्रद्धत्वम् इति त्वया स्वभक्त विशेष लक्षणमेव कृतमस्ति एव अवगम्यते किन्तु स च कीदृशः. So in the last chapter what he said that so one has to absorb their mind in the Krishna and with the full faith, so they should worship him. So this is the thing. Twan manaskatve sati tvad jana vishayaka shraddhatvam. That means one should absorb their mind in Krishna and they should have full faith in the Krishna. So in this way he defined there about the bhakti yoga. But now Arjuna is getting in his mind, then how to do this? What is this? Can you explain more elaborately? So that may doubt he may get, but Arjuna didn't ask anything, but Krishna is assuming himself and he started explaining. So about that means absorbing, that means once mind is absorbed in the Krishna, what it means. So then he's saying, Kintu sakidrishaha bhaktaha. So tvadiya gnana vignana yoh adhikari bhavati ityapekshayamaha. Maya sakta iti dvabhya. So here so what kind of how the mind is fixed in him. Maya sakta manaha. First word if you take Maya sakta manaha, that means that mind is having the asakti. That mind is having the, that means the one person is having the asakti in the Lord. Asakti in the Mai means in the, that means Krishna himself is identifying Krishna Syamasundar. So that means having asakti in the Syamasundar Bhagavan. Here asakti means what you should take. According to the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, asakti means you should take the stage asakti. Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anardha Nivrutti, so Nishta, Ruchi, after that asakti. This asakti you should take. That asakti only here. Here also, according to the VCT, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So Maya Sakta Manaha. So Maya Sakta Manaha Partha. O Partha. So one is having the asakti in me. Okay. Asakti bhumikarudam manah yasya tatha bhutam tvam mam gnasyasi. So that means the one who is having the asakti, that means, so one reaches to the asakti, then he is able to know mam gnasyasi. That means he is able to know the Lord. Mano yasya tatha bhuta eva tvam mam. In that stage, one is able to know the relation with the Lord. Mam gnasyasi means one is able to know the relation with the Lord. So that means, if you see the stages, so Rupa Bhakti Rasam Sindhu studied in all of you. So then when will be one is able to understand, that means his relation with the Lord. Now you all know the relation with the Lord. We all know. We don't know the specific relation with the Lord. We just understand that we are part and parcel of the Lord. But what is our relation with the Lord? That you will be knowing in the stage of the bhava. So bhava means what? Your eternal relationship with the Lord, your particular eternal relationship with the Lord. So here bhava is also two types. So it can be coming in the two ways. Actually, it can be, that means especially by the sadhana, if you go through the sadhana. So sadhana is how many types? Sadhana is two types. What are those? So Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and Raganuga sadhana bhakti. Okay. So if you continue, so Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, even after the stage of the ruchi, so then what will happen? Then you will be getting the Aishwarya Gnanam. And when you do the Raganuga, you all studied this. I am not saying new thing. These are all whatever I am saying from the previous chapters only. So, and whatever that means Raganuga Bhakti, Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, if you does, so then what will be? You will be getting the Madhurya Gnanam. Yes. But before the Asakti, one way can take Ruchi and Asakti. So these stages, that means before Asakti. So in the Ruchi stage, we are trying to do the Ruchi onwards. So we are trying to shift to the Raganuga Bhakti. Till the Ruchi, what kind of Bhakti you are doing? Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. After that, also if you continue the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, what will happen? What will happen? If you continue till the Bhava and Prema, also Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, what will happen? Adokshay Prabhu, tell me.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji will be getting Aishwarya Gnana.
Then where will you go? Yeah, Rukmini Mohan Prabhu.
So the Bhava will be having Aishwarya Gyan, then the person will go to Dwarka, where the Aishwarya Gyan is there with the Lord.
Yeah. Yes. Dwarika or otherwise Vaikuntha they will go. They will be getting the Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya and Sarishti. This kind of muktis they will get. If they continue Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. But what is the difference between Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti? I am not asking you, Prabhu. So who will tell? Shama Priya Mataji.
Sadhana Bhakti is following the rules and regulations of devotional service, and Raganuga Bhakti is spontaneous. Like
But
they are above the
Raganubhakti,
rules.
Sadhana Bhakti are not.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
Raganubhakti, Sadhana Bhakti are not.
Mm, uh, yeah, but it is spontaneous. We don't
But
have to.
can you say it is Sadhana Bhakti or not?
Yes.
Huh? That means there are also rules and regulations.
No, there is not rules and regulations. Spontaneous.
Yeah. Sadhana, that's why, because you said Sadhana Bhakti means following rules and regulations, and Raganu Bhakti means spontaneous. But what is the point here? You understood then? Following rules and regulations is which Bhakti?
Sadhana Bhakti, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti.
That you should mention. Otherwise, Sadhana Bhakti, if you say, then that same thing is coming to the Raganu Bhakti also. Then overlapping is coming. You should say like that. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, which is done based upon the Shraddha actually. That is what is the qualification to do the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is Shraddha and or otherwise the order of the Guru. On this strength, if you do, then that is following rules and regulations is not the really definition of the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. What is the main definition of this Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti? So what that means, the pravritti to do bhakti is coming on the strength of the on the what strength?
Faith, Prabhu.
Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, how one is able to do this bhakti? What is the igniter actually? What is the impeller? Who is cause for doing this?
Strength of
Who is the
purity,
motivation
Prabhuji.
otherwise?
Prabhuji, strength on the purity.
Huh?
On the basis of purity.
Vaishnavi Priya Mataji, boliye. Tell. Unmute it, Mataji.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. क्या पूछा है?
So Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. So what is the motivation? How they are getting the, that means candidate, how one will get the motivation to do the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti? What is happening in that process?
We get the motivation by the mercy of the Guru and by looking at the Vaishnavas.
By the mercy of the Guru. But how it is coming?
Prabhuji, your voice is not audible to me.
Everyone is able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, you can.
Yeah. So how one is able to do the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti? What is the cause? But Guru comes later actually. Guru, this is not the point actually. What is the qualification for the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti?
We must have some faith in our heart and
faith in heart. Faith in what? Not in the heart. Faith in?
Faith on the Lord, that there is Krishna, there is some supreme power.
Yeah, faith in Shastrartha Vishwasa. Faith in the meanings of the scriptures. Faith in what? Meanings are the conclusions of the scriptures. What is the conclusion of the scripture? Krishna is the supreme personality of the Godhead. Vasudeva Paravedaha. This is the meaning of the scripture, and having faith on this, that means one is understanding that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead from the Shastras, and then after, and he is the Rasovaisa, he is studying about him, he is full of rasa. So after knowing this, that means after understanding this, after getting the belief in this, so that means after knowing that in your house there is a 10 kgs of gold in the ground, then what you will do?
We will dig it.
Yes, we will dig it and take it. Similarly, when you understand from this by studying the Shastras, so Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and he is full of bliss, then what you will do? You will be trying to get that. That means you will be doing the bhakti. based upon that strength, based upon the belief on the meanings of the Shastra, then that is known as Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. That is the preliminary qualification. But in the case of the Raganuga Bhakti, how?
Based on
What is happening in the Raganuga Bhakti? Saurav, yes.
Yes, Prosi, then after the coming out of Shastra knowledge, then we experience after performing the bhakti. And we experience the love of Krishna, then our bhakti is safe to Raganuga.
No, what is Raganuga Bhakti?
Then we perform without any intent.
Raganuga Bhakti, so in the Gaudiya Vaishnava case, we are doing the Vaidya and we are shifting there. But Raganuga Bhakti definition is Raganuga Bhakti, even from the beginning also one can do. It doesn't mean that the Raganuga Bhakti is dependent on the Vaidya Sadhana Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti is also independent process. What is the Raganuga Bhakti? In the case of Raganuga Bhakti, what happens? Yes, Vaishnava Primata.
Prabhuji, in Raganuga Bhakti, as it is spontaneous by nature, the motivation point is the feeling connection which a person or devotee feels for the Supreme Lord.
Connection, no?
Yeah.
It's not connection. Where the connection? How the connection will they get by the beginning?
But it is not the beginning, Prabhuji.
Raganuga Bhakti can be done even in the beginners.
But he must have surpassed the previous stages. He must have reached a certain level to get.
No. That is not the qualification. To do Raganuga Bhakti, he has to do before Vaidhi Bhakti and cross the stages. And it's not given like that. Rupa Goswami didn't define like that. So Nrisimha Daya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, by following in the footsteps of some great devotee of the Lord, like Rajvasis, we can do Raganuga Bhakti. By following the Ragatmika, the devotees who are following the Ragatmika process.
Yeah, that is Raganuga Bhakti. But how? What is the motivation to do Raganuga Bhakti? What is the qualification?
By pure devotee's mercy, a person can reach the stage of Raganuga Bhakti. In the case of, like the case of Narad Muni.
What is the initial, that means requirement to do Raganuga Bhakti?
He has gotten perfection in the sadhana.
What is the qualification? On what
Raganuga
strength they are able to perform the Raganuga Bhakti? What is the qualification? Raganuga Bhakta, you can say he is Raganuga Bhakta. Who? Anyway, Raganuga Bhakti means following the Ragatmika Bhakti. That means following the Vrajavasis in the Vrindavan. So in the Vraja. So and following the Vrajavasis and doing the Bhakti. So that is known as Raganuga Bhakti. But who will do? What is the qualification? Yes, Prabhu, Krishna.
We should be free from anartha.
No. Even in the Raganuga Bhakti, anarthas will be purified. If you free from the anarthas, that is the Ragatmika Bhakti then. Punya Shlok, Prabhu. Already time is going.
Prabhuji, firm faith, Prabhu.
Huh?
Firm faith.
No, faith is for the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti.
After Nishtha,
greed, laulyam, greed. Greed is the qualification. Greed. What is the meaning of greed? Can anyone explain greed? For the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Shraddha is the qualification. That means that is a strength actually. What is the strength? From where they are getting strength to do that Bhakti? They are getting the strength from that belief in the case of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. That means believing the meanings of the Shastra. The meaning of Shastra is Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the full of rasa. So then we are getting the, that means, so we are getting the, that means by understanding this, so you want to get that, then you are doing the bhakti. Then that is known as, that means you are believing the meanings of the Shastra and doing the bhakti, that is Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. In the Raganuga bhakti, the greed means what here? Greed means once after hearing the Krishna Katha, that means Vrajavasis bhakti. If anyone hear the Vrajavasis bhakti the way they do, like the Yashoda Maya, Nanda Maharaj, Gopis, Gopas, and so on, so by hearing their activities towards the Krishna, so without expecting the proof from the Shastra and the logic, if they get the some kind of greed, that means if the greed is produced in their heart to hear that, then it is known as, so he is qualified to do the Raganuga bhakti without depending on the, that means that greed should not dependent on the Shastra and the logic. And after hearing the Krishna's pastimes along with his gopis or gopas, if you are thinking that, oh Krishna, how I can believe Krishna? So how can you say Krishna is Supreme Personality? This kind of doubts are coming in you. Then finish, you are not Raganuga Bhakta. Because you have the Shanka in you. That means then you have to study the scriptures to understand that. And you are asking the logic. You are asking the proof from the Shastra. Some pramana you are expecting, then he is not Raganuga Bhakta. Okay? But, so that is the qualification of the Raganuga Bhakta. So even one does the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and reach the Ruchi stage, that means Ruchi means now he is getting the natural taste. There onwards he can shift to the, that means instead of following the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, he has to so follow the devotion done by the Vrajavasis. So that means what? We are turning, but actually Raganuga Bhakti is also can be done. So some, because of the some Sukriti, whatever. So if someone, that's why it is Virala, that means Raganuga Bhakti is very rare. Out of thousands and thousands, millions of people, one can have this kind of thing. That means naturally qualified to the Raganuga Bhakti. But we are becoming qualified to the Raganuga Bhakti by doing the sadhana and reaching the Ruchi stage, and from there, instead of doing the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, we are trying to do the, so Raganuga Bhakti, we are trying to follow the Ragatmika Bhaktas. And that's why we are going back to the Goloka, otherwise we'll go back to the Vaikuntha. So that is very important now to know, because here we are going to explain the, so the two types of the knowledge. By doing the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, you will be getting the, what? You will be getting the, by doing, if you continue the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti till end, then you will be getting the Aishwarya Gnanam. And by doing the Raganuga Bhakti, you will be getting the Madhurya Gnanam. Understanding Madhurya Gnanam. So that means the loving relationship with the Lord, sweet loving relationship with the Lord in the Vrindavan. Then in the Raganuga Bhakta case, he will never be, so he will never, that means maintain any rules and regulations, formal meeting. So like in the Dwarika, if you want to meet Krishna, you have to have the formal appointment. He's a king. If you go to the Vaikuntha, there is a, so he is in the respectable position. Vishnu is in the highest authority position. And here all, these are all in the, that means Jivas, they cannot, there is a, so that, but there is a distance is maintained. But in the case of the Vraja, so to meet Krishna for his friends, is there any appointment? Hey, Krishna, like that, they will put hand on him and go with him. So this is the loving relation actually. There is no Aishwarya Gnanam here in the case of the Raganuga Bhakta. And Raganuga Bhakta practices and will become Ragatmika Bhakta. That means Raga Bhakti they'll be doing like Vrajavasis. So that is that loving relationship, knowledge about those loving relationship is known as Madhurya Gnanam. Okay? And but Aishwarya Gnanam is different. Mahatmya Yukta Gnanam, otherwise Aishwarya Gnanam. So that is coming from the Vaidhi Bhakti. So that's why what we are doing, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we are doing the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and coming to the Ruchi stage and We are not continuing Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, and after that we are shifting to the, we are trying to shift to the Raganuga bhakti, so that we'll be getting the, after that, that means bhava, and after that, that means next bhava, and after that what? Prema stages will be doing the, so Raganuga bhakti, trying to follow. Raganuga bhakti is not having any limitations. It is niravadi. That means there is no limitation. There is no limit. It can be done even at a prema stage also. Raganuga means it's following the raga bhaktas. So then shifting there, then you'll be getting the madhurya gnanam. So we'll be getting, that means till asakti stage you are getting the aishwarya gnanam. Then after that we try to follow the, so raganu bhakta, and we will be getting the madhurya gnanam. Okay, here gnanam and vignanam. So in this chapter, what we are going to know? Gnanam, vignanam. So gnanam means, so here if you see next sloka, gnanam sa vignanam. Gnanam means aishwarya gnanam, and vignanam means madhurya gnanam. So understand? So that's why till asakti, here is maya asakta manaschetaha. Asakti means till asakti stage. If you see the sloka, so you'll be getting what? Mam gnasyasi. That means you'll be getting the gnanam. Aishwarya gnanam here. Gnanam means. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving. Clear this is point? Not clear. Till asakti, one will be getting what? Mam gnasyasi. What he is saying, if you see the sloka, maya sakta mana partha yogam yunjan madashrayah asamshayam samagram mam yatha gnasyasi tatsrunu. That means by reaching to the asakti stage, so how you will come to know, that I will explain. What you will come to know about me, that I will explain. By reaching to the asakti stage, so what you will get, what you will come to know about me, that I will explain. Means what is this? Till asakti. By reaching the asakti stage, what will one come to know? What you heard now? What you will come to know? You will come to know. Gnanam means what here? Aishwarya gnanam. So then after that, so he is shifting to the Raganuga Bhakti, na? That means Bhava and Prema, then he will be coming to know. After that, so Vignanam. So in this sloka, what is saying, if you have asakti, maya sakta manaha, what it means, if you have the asakti in him, in me, then whatever you come to know, that I will explain in this chapter. If you have asakti in me, so then whatever you will come to know about me, that I will explain. Means, so whatever what he will come to know, what gnanam he will come to know?
Aishwarya Gyan.
Aishwarya Gnanam. So that's why Aishwarya Gnanam, and after that Vignanam means what you should take. Next sloka, what you said, Gnanam teham savignanam idam vakshyam asheshatah. That means Vignanam, he is going to explain the Vignanam. Okay, I will end this class here. Sorry, actually 10 minutes I took extra. 9:20 I want to finish. So because I expected some quickly I can go, but the time took. So tomorrow onwards I'll go quickly. So these are the basic things we require to deal this 6 chapters. If you don't know what is the Raga Anuga Bhakti, or what is the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, what you will get from that, what is the Asakti stage, and what is the Gnani, and what is the, that which are all already covered actually. So without knowing those fundamentals clearly, and what is the Guni Bhuta Bhakti, and then you can only you can understand the Karma Gnana Mishra Bhakti, and also Suddha Bhakti. What is the definition of Suddha Bhakti? Please, so I request all of you to refer your all the other materials, so whatever the classes explain. So please, so that if I get the answers quickly, I can go very quickly. Otherwise, it's like a without understanding all these basics and without having this knowledge and moving forward is difficult for me actually. Okay, thank you very much, sir. We'll end here class. So if anyone wants to leave, they can leave. So any questions or anything? Already questions are taken in between. Yeah, Rajendra Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna. I was late half an hour today because I was still on the old classes time schedule. So I want to apologize.
Oh, schedule is shifted, Prabhu, 7 o'clock. Maybe it was previously 7:30. So it message was sent in the group. Yeah, yesterday Jayadamar Prabhu sent that. Ramcharan Prabhu, you were asking some question previously. Okay, Jitendra Prabhu, first you can.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So can we say Raguna Bhakti as can we understand as deep desire to please Krishna without means any expectation in return?
That no any Shastra Yukti. So that means any pramana, that means any evidence. So we any evidence, not expecting any evidence from the Shastra and the otherwise, not dependent on yukti. So if one get the greed to hear or to do bhakti to the Krishna, the way they did, the way the gopis or that means Vrajavasis they did, then it is known as Raganuga Bhakti.
Okay, Prabhuji. My second question is, Prabhuji, what is the means Guni Bhut Bhakti in Ashtanga Yoga?
Guni Bhuta Bhakti, anytime. Guni Bhuta means it can be the secondary. Guni Bhuta means secondary. So now if you say karma, so that means you are doing the yajna for that, for purification of the dravya or the any other things. So you'll be doing the some bhakti. How you are doing this bhakti means chanting the holy names. So just as the limb of, as the anga, as the limb of the karma, you are making this chanting Vishnu's names as the limb of the total karma. So then this is becoming, bhakti is becoming just a supporting element for that karma to give its result. So then this bhakti is known as Guni Bhuta, because majorly is what? Karma only. Why don't you call total activity as bhakti? Because major portion is what? Karma. Yes, you understood?
In case of Ashtanga Yoga, how I can understand it?
In the case of the Ashtanga Yoga also,
Jnana.
Yeah, in the Ashtanga Yoga, same way, it can be the Gnana, and also in the Ashtanga Yoga process also, they can be, so it is explained in the 28th chapter of the 3rd canto, actually. You can see. So there, that means while yogis, so Yama Niyama, so at that time they will be fixing on the Paramatma actually. So for that they will be, so that means they are doing some kind of smaranam actually there. So they're using that smaranam process. So that means what is Ashtanga Yoga? Dhyana Dharana Samadhi. So that means Dhyana Dharana. Dhyana means what? Meditating on the Paramatma actually. So that is a process, their dhyana process they are using just to merge into that Paramatma, to purify the heart and merge into that. But they don't want to develop any loving relationship with the Paramatma. So this way, here this dhyana is becoming the Guni Bhuta.
Guni Bhuta, right. Smaranam Dhyanam. Remembering the Lord.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Any others? Any questions? Okay, if not, we'll meet tomorrow.
I have one question in this Guni Bhut Bhakti. You said na ki there is a tinge of bhakti with jnana and karma, and that's giving liberation.
Yeah,
So,
this
yeah. So, Prabhu, if bhakti point is there, they are chanting the names, and so why don't they have purification? Like, why they are not counted as bhaktas? Why they are counted as jnanis and karmis? Because bhakti is there, na?
Mataji, if there is a 10 liters of milk is there and 1 liter water is mixed, then what you say that is milk or water?
But Prabhu, Arjuna Bhakti is also very powerful, na?
Huh?
Because if they are doing any of the limbs of bhakti, so it's very powerful.
Yes,
So
yes, very
why?
good. That is the point. But see, in the case of the karmis or the jnanis, so they are using, that means this bhakti as a assistant for those processes. So then that's why that means comes under the 8th offense. Karmis case also, or the jnanis is the 8th offense, and but means even they are committing this kind of offense, bhakti is so merciful, so she is producing the result of that karma. Okay, Mataji?
Yes, true. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Revati Mataji, if anyone wants to leave, they can leave. The class is over.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you for your class, Prabhu. I just wanted to ask regarding as we know, there are three aspects of absolute truth, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So the first two aspects, Brahman and Paramatma, what is the destination of a person who is in those two aspects?
So, Nirguna Nirvishesha Chinmatra Satta. That means Chinmatra Satta is known as Brahman. So, Jiva Maya Niyantrita Shakti Vishishta Chinmatra Satta is known as Paramatma. Okay? जीव माया नियंत्रित्व शक्ति विशिष्ट चिन्मात्र सत्ता, लिख लीजिए, राइट इट.
ओके.
जीव माया नियंत्रित्व शक्ति विशिष्ट चिन्मात्र सत्ता is known as Paramatma. Okay.
So where do they go, Prabhu?
So you asked Brahman and Paramatma, Mataji. So that's why I gave the definition. So Brahman means what? So Krishna is there. Actually, originally Krishna is there, but in that Krishna, you are not seeing any attributes of the Krishna. Like if any object is there, if you don't see any object, if you take and if you don't see any qualities of that, then what you'll be understanding? Idam asti, idam kinchid asti. Here something is there. That's all. Yes or no? Like sometimes some heavy headlight, that means of any vehicle, is falling on your eyes, then you will not be able to see the color, size, and the shape of that object, and you'll be simply thinking that something is there. That is known as nirvikalpa gnanam. So that is nothing but that means about the Krishna. If you get the nirvikalpa gnanam, that means without any vikalpa, without any attributes. Nir means without any attributes. If you see the Krishna, then that is known as Brahman, that is Chinmatra Satta. Okay, but if you see the Chinmatra Satta with the two, that means with the energy, what kind of energy? Along with the Jiva Maya Niyantritva, that means the energy which is utilized to control the Jivatma and Maya. So with that energy plus Chinmatra Satta is equal to Paramatma. You understood this point?
Yes, Prabhu.
And what is Bhagavan? Bhagavan means Chinmatra Satta. That means all the Shaktis plus Chinmatra Satta is equal to Bhagavan. That means if you don't see all the Shaktis, and only if you see the two, that means only that much portion of Shakti which controls the Maya and Jiva, then it is known as Paramatma. So that's why Paramatma is nothing but what? He is the controller of the Jiva and Maya at various levels. That means at the individual level, at the Brahmanda level, at all the level of all the Brahmandas. Karananam Sai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, Shirodaka Sai Vishnu. These three are known as Paramatma, where they are controlling the Jivatma and Maya at various levels. Okay, so anyone worship of the Paramatma, so if they don't have any bhakti, so then they will be going merged into the Paramatma. If they have some bhakti, that will, all the combinations will be discussing anyway. Salokya Mukti and different muktis, how they will get. That will be coming anyway.
Hare Krishna. So if we say like the Paramatma realize they merge into Paramatma, and the Brahman they merge into Brahman. So is it like which one is better? Is it like that something that which one is better, Paramatma?
Merging into the Brahman or the Paramatma is not at all. It's worse than they going to the hell. Because if you go to the hell, at least you can get the association of the devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, and Yamadharma Raj. And there is a chance to Jivatma to go back to, that means get the association of the Vaishnavas and go back to the God. Get the Raganuga Bhakti and going to the Vrajdam. But if you go and marry into the Brahman, then there is no chance of the getting any association. Without association, bhakti never starts. This is the fundamental principle you should understand. Bhakti starts from the association. If there is no association, no bhakti. So that's why how to understand. So after going merging into the Brahman, is there any chance to get the association? There is no chance. Then there is no bhakti at all. There is no progress. After merging into the body of the Brahman, Paramatma, where is the chance of the getting the association? Because Paramatma never makes devotees, or the Krishna never makes devotees. Krishna is not at all responsible for Jivatma to turn towards the Lord. Who is cause? Only devotees. Madhyamadikari. If Lord is turning Jivatma towards himself, then there is a big problem will come. Then there no Jivatma should be in this middle world. Okay. Next.
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah, one more thing, Prabhu. Like yeah. So I have reached it. Now I want something. So I think what I understood is that person will still be doing same things as that person was doing in the Vedic Bhakti, but it will be out of greed.
Vaidhi Bhakti out of greed means what?
No. If a person has reached the stage of Raganuga Bhakta, then person will still be doing the same things what he was doing in Vedic Bhakti. But only the consciousness will be different, right?
See, what is the difference between Vaidhi and Raganuga? So Raganuga means following the Vrajavasis. Simply, why terms are different, but if you come to the natural setup, you can easily understand. In the Vrindavan, for the gopis or gopas to meet the Krishna, is there any formalities are there? Will they think that he is a Bhagavan and I have to maintain respect and I should respect him and I should follow some procedure to meet him? Is there anything? That means, so they are putting hands, and Mother Yashoda also, she never thinks that so he is the Supreme Personality of God, on his lotus feet I should meditate. He never thinks. The mera lala hai, so simply she will be feeding him whatever she is eating, immediately sometimes keep in his mouth also. This is Raganuga Bhakti. That means this is Ragatmika Bhakti. Whatever Yashodama is doing, that is Ragatmika Bhakti. Raga Bhakti or otherwise. If you follow this procedure, then it is known as Raganuga Bhakti. And Vaidhi Bhakti means what? If you like Krishna, like in the Vaishnavas, the Sri Vaishnavas, others, that means, oh, Supreme Lord, oh, I should not touch. And this is Suchi, this is Muchi. then this is Vaidhi Bhakti. So by having this kind of sort of differentiation, if you maintain this kind of distance, so even at the bhava and other stages, then this is, you'll be getting the Aishwarya Gnana and you'll be going back to the Vaikunta or otherwise Dwarika. Okay, Mataji, you are understanding?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Vishnu, Vanshi Priya Mata. Sorry, Mata, I wrongly reading your name. Vanshi Priya Mataji.
I'm not asking Prabhuji, I just wanted to tell one thing that many times before this class, many times we have gone through this verse, Mai Asakta Manah Partha. So from this Mai Asakta, I was not able to deduce that how to understand in such a dissective manner that how it is connected with the verse of the stages of NOD. This we have come to know first time. I have come to know first time that what is the process one is supposed to understand and follow to reach this stage of Mai Asakta.
Yes.
So thank you very much for
Hare
such
Krishna.
nice explanation, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mata, thank you, Mata. Hare Krishna. Punshlaka Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Just a clarification. With the Brahmavadis, they merge into the personal effulgence of the Lord after liberation. We can also say, well, Paramatma is the one who have devotion to the Lord, because they still see the Paramatma in the heart, but they have no devotion, so they achieve the impersonal liberation, impersonal effulgence.
Yes.
Whereas the Paramatma Vadis, you can call in a way, who have devotion for
Yogis,
Paramatma,
yogis, we can say.
they
Yogis.
merge,
Yogis.
they merge into the body of the Lord, is it?
Yeah, yes. Body of the Lord. Yeah, that
So
is.
one is the light, one is the impersonal effulgence, the
Yes.
other one is only the body of the Lord.
Yes, that is the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu. So thank you very much. So for kind and patient hearing, so will be for Ramcharan Prabhu. Yes, he was raising hand very before. So.
No, Prabhu, just I have this question, like when we say that like that sadhaka who is basically meditating on Paramatma, and like by doing that he got mystic powers and other things also, and then like if he at the end he's merging to Paramatma, so Paramatma is only in the material world, Prabhu, like so what happened like at the time of complete annihilation where that jiva will
He'll
go?
be in the, Paramatma is always existing, like appearing and disappearing, but he will be existing always.
So means which like they will go in like Mahavishnu Loka, like which Loka they will go and stay,
They'll
like
merge into the Karnanasai Vishnu. So this this Jivatma pierce out this all the layers of the Brahmanda and go and merge into the Karnanasai Vishnu.
And stay there forever, right? Or like
yes.
How going to work, like because
yes,
from
they stay forever. They stay forever. And this detailed process is explained in the third canto, 28th chapter, actually.
All right. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Okay,
so Prabhu, Brahmavadis can fall, but the ones who actually enter into the body of Mahavishnu, they never fall. The Brahmavadis may...
Brahmavadis, yes, Prabhu, I understood. So Brahmavadis, if they are in the body and they got Jivan Mukta stage, so they may fall down from that stage. You're understanding? So Brahmavadis who are still in the body but got that means Mukti, that means Jivan Mukti, we say Jivan Mukta, in that case they will fall down. But the Brahmavadis, they left the body and crossed the Brahmanda and reached to the Brahman, so then they will never come back. There is no association. And they don't do any offense. Why the Jivatma, any Brahmavadi or any Gnani, that means got the liberation, they are falling down. When they do the Anadruta Ishmadangrayaha, that means, so when they disrespect the Lord, when they disrespect the Vaishnavas, when they do the offense, then only they will fall down. Even Jivan Mukta, when he will fall down, Jivan Mukta will fall down unknowingly or unknowingly offense is happening. For example, Jivan Mukta, he's Brahmavadi, did the Jivan Mukti stage, reached, and in front of him, so Vaishnava is going, but he didn't offer any obeisances to him. That means then what? Vaishnava Aparadha is happening by him unknowingly also, because he's seeing everything as one, so he's not recognizing Vaishnava. So offense is happening. Then because of this, what will happen? So they will be, so they don't have sufficient bhakti to destroy that offense. So that's why gradually they will be once again, so getting back the material desires because of this offense. And they will be falling down from the Jivana Mukta stage. But this will not happen once the Jivatma went and merged into the Brahman.
Right. Thank you, brother. This is the clarity. And obviously with the Mayavadis, they will never get liberation because they have the
full of offenses.
That's right.
Yeah. So
thank you for the
Mohan.
now. It's thank you.
Yeah. Rukmini Mohan.
Just one question came in my mind that in Raganuga Bhakti, Srila Rupa Goswami tells the initial qualification to come in Bhakti is he should be not attached, not detached, and he has developed the desire to hear about Krishna. Right? So the person who is having intense greed, Shraddha, which is mentioned. So in that case, he will be having intense greed. So he should be like all the impurities are still there in the person.
Yeah. So
desire to enjoy material.
Yeah. Raganuga Bhakta can have impurities. Definitely can have impurities. So there is not at all a so foundation, because in the he has the only, what is the qualification for the Raganu Bhakta? So purified heart is not the qualification. Having the greed for the, so following the way bhakti done by the Vrajavasis. So after hearing the bhakti done by the Vrajavasis, if we get the naturally, that means greed to do that without expectation on the Shastra or the without any reference from the Shastra or without the logic. So then that is only the qualification. We didn't see that Raganu Bhakta need to purify, because even in the stage of the prema, so we are seeing that the aparadot anartha is cleared in the prema stage also. Anarthas are there even in the bhava stage also. So that's why, so the purification is not the process, is not the qualification. Only the thing is greed is the qualification. So that's why we cannot put that condition actually. If someone's heart is not purified, no. But this is also, there also he explains, this is because of the some mercy of the, so some devotees it is possible actually, Raganu Bhakti. So, or otherwise who reached the stage of the Ruchi, and then from there they can try to divert into the path of the Raganuga.
So if the anarthas are there, which are there in the at the level of bhava, then how do we, like, if he is, because of anarthas, he may also have the desire to enjoy in the material world. So because of the offense, then he may develop the desire. So how will we distinguish from Rati and Rati Abhas?
Yeah. So here in this case, yes. So Rati and Ratyabhas. So Raganuga Bhakta, if he is having the, so yes, Bhukti and Mukti, those will be out in the stage of the Bhava. That means Rati. That's Moksha Laguta Krit and Sudurlabha. These two are the manifesting. If these two are not manifesting, still Bhava is there, then that is known as Ratyabhas.
Okay. Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So, Shashaki Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My question. So, as Mayavadis commit so many offenses, so what is the Prabhu?
So, what is the
destination of them?
So, what is the destination? So, Mayavadis, they will be going to the hell. You can unmute, Mataji, if you want to speak.
So because of all the offenses, they go to hell, but after going to hell also they can practice some devotional service and get back to higher planets, Prabhu.
So if they come into association of the proper devotees, so pure devotees, then there is a chance to come to know the difference. That means the bhakti. That means the glory of the bhakti. And if they practice, then they can. Or otherwise, after the long time suffering of that, so because of that offense, long time suffering. So by that, the effect of the offenses will become reduced. So then there is a chance for them to hear and understand the glory of the bhakti once again.
Okay, Prabhuji, that was very helpful.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll meet tomorrow. So thank you very much. So we'll try to cover up for at least reach the 10 slokas tomorrow. Otherwise, yeah, we have time limitation also. So thank you very much. So Ancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. So अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद.
Thank you, Prabhuji.